You're lying down now, but your mind is still racing, still chasing things you cannot hold. Here's the truth. 97% of people will never accept. The peace you're desperately searching for doesn't exist in the world. Not in your next promotion, not in your partner's validation, not in finally having control. Marcus Aurelius knew this, the most powerful man in Rome, commander of armies, ruler of 70 million people. And yet, alone in his tent on the battlefield, he wrote these words to himself. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. He wasn't writing to inspire the masses. He was reminding himself, because even emperors forget. Tonight, his words become yours, not to admire, to embody. If you're ready to stop chasing what will never give you peace and start building it from within, leave your mark right now. Comment below, I accept what is. This isn't just a phrase, it's a declaration. The line between the person you were and the person you're becoming. Begin now, with me. In the stillness of night, when the world finally quiets and your body surrenders to rest, something deeper begins to stir. This is not the noise of anxiety, not the hum of tomorrow's worries. This is the whisper of your true self, the voice that has waited patiently beneath all your noise to be heard. You are not here to be entertained. You are here to remember what matters, what is real, what you actually can control. Tonight we walk beside Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca. Not as followers, but as fellow travelers. Their words are echoes of the wisdom you already hold inside. You were never promised ease. Life is not meant to be soft. It is meant to sharpen you, to break what is false and leave what is real. Each struggle has carved into you a deeper space that must now be filled with clarity. Because only clarity makes you unshakable. Do not wait for peace to find you. You must forge it in the furnace of each decision. Peace is not the absence of chaos. It is the refusal to be moved by it. When the winds rise, the Stoic stands rooted, not because he is numb, but because he has trained his soul to hold its shape. It starts here, with this breath. Everything you fear losing, control, status, praise, even love, none of it truly belongs to you. What you do have is your ability to respond, to choose how you see, how you act. That is the one true possession. Guard it fiercely. The Stoics taught that there is only one real division in life: the things you can control and the things you cannot. If it is within your control, your thoughts, your actions, your values, then take full responsibility. Own it completely. If it is outside your control, other people's opinions, the past, outcomes, then release it. Let it fall away. This isn't weakness, this is strength. The strength to stop fighting what is. You are a part of nature, not above it. You are not owed understanding or fairness. There will be pain, there will be fear, but neither defines you. What defines you is what you do with them. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." How many nights have you lost to worry? A study at Cornell University found that 85% of what people worry about never happens. And of the 15% that does, 79% handled it better than expected. That means 97% of your worry is wasted. Let tonight be different. Let tonight be a return to what is. There is no peace in the past. There is no control in the future. There is only this: your breath, your body, your awareness. That is enough. That is always enough. You are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You are the space in which all of those rise and fall. You are the one who sees. And if you can see clearly, you can choose clearly. And if you can choose clearly, you can live without regret. The Stoics do not demand perfection, they demand honesty. Are you living by your values? Are you being ruled by externals? Are you still blaming the world for your unrest? These questions are not to shame you, they are to wake you. Tonight you return home not by escaping the world, but by releasing your grip on it, by accepting it as it is. That is the essence of Stoicism. Not indifference, but radical alignment with what is real. Your breath is real, your choice is real, your response is real, everything else is fleeting. Sleep now, not to escape, but to rest in truth. You are a mind capable of choosing how to live. That is a miracle. Treat it like one. Let go, let go, let go. Sleep not because the day defeated you, but because you stood firm in it. You are exactly where you must be to practice. And whatever comes, remember, you are free. In a world obsessed with progress and spectacle, it is easy to forget that being is already a miracle. To simply sit, to draw breath, to stay with yourself. You may feel as though you are doing nothing, but in truth, you are tending the soil from which everything else grows. You don't need to do more. This strikes against everything you have been taught. From childhood, you were conditioned to believe that worth is earned through effort, that value is proven by productivity. Yet the deepest changes rarely arise from force. They come from attention, from patience, from presence. A seed does not force itself open. It softens, it yields, and in yielding, it grows. Your life is no different. You are not a project to be completed, but a being to be tended. The very act of returning again and again is the core of the practice. You wander, you forget, you drift. That is normal, that is human. The power lies not in never leaving, but in always coming back. Each return is a choice. Over time, these quiet returns accumulate into resilience. One day you look back and realize, I no longer get lost as easily. I return more quickly. My center holds more firmly. This is the slow miracle of practice. Life will try to convince you that transformation is grand, that wisdom is loud, but life's deepest truths move more like water-carving stone, silently, steadily. Real transformation often happens in small moments, the choice to pause before speaking. The breath taken in the midst of stress, the decision to return to your principles when no one is watching. These moments are so quiet they seem insignificant, yet they are the very fabric of wisdom. Wisdom itself is not loud. It grows in silence, in solitude, in practice. Like a tree rooting itself deeper, your soul is establishing its foundations beneath the surface. And when storms come, you will discover that you stand differently. Not because you performed some grand act, but because you stayed, you practiced, you returned. The Stoics were not superhuman. They were not immune to loss, fear, or pain. Marcus Aurelius watched plagues sweep through Rome. He lost children. He faced constant war. Epictetus was born a slave. Beaten so badly his leg was permanently damaged. Seneca was exiled, stripped of his wealth, eventually ordered to end his own life. They suffered deeply. But they chose to train their minds to see clearly through suffering, to not let emotion dictate reason, to not let chaos decide character. They refused to live by chance. They chose principle every day. You don't become strong by avoiding discomfort. You become strong by walking into it, eyes open, jaw relaxed, breath steady. The fear you feel now, the ache you carry, they are not signs that you're failing. They are invitations to go deeper. Every emotion begins with a judgment. Something happens, and your mind decides what it means. That's where the power lies. Is this bad? Is this unbearable? Or is this just unfamiliar? Just uncomfortable? You get to decide the meaning, always. When you begin to see clearly, you begin to suffer less. Not because pain disappears, but because confusion does. The Stoic does not reject emotion. He questions it. He investigates it. He welcomes it as a messenger. Anger says something matters to you. Fear says there is risk here. Envy says you've forgotten your own values. Each one can teach if you are calm enough to listen. Tonight, you are still. You are listening. Visualize now a moment from your life that still stings. Not to dwell, but to practice. Hold it gently. Now ask, what part of this was in my control? What part was not? And where am I still holding on to what was never mine? Let it go. Whatever it is, let it go. Not because you don't care, but because you care too much to keep carrying something that weighs you down. Carry only what sharpens you. Let the rest fall away. Seneca wrote, "He who is brave is free." Bravery in this moment means choosing calm when panic is easier, choosing discipline when distraction is tempting, choosing gratitude when bitterness feels justified. That's what makes you free. Not circumstances, but choices. Right now, you are practicing freedom with every breath. Every decision to stay here, every act of letting go, you are shaping your soul, not for tomorrow, for now, because how you live now is how you live always. There is no finish line, no moment when you become fully stoic or perfectly wise. There is only the practice, the return, the act of showing up again and again. Do not believe the lie that you must wait to begin, that you need more healing, more confidence, more clarity. Begin now. Begin confused. Begin uncertain. Begin afraid. Because the act of beginning is what creates all the things you think you need first. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself every morning, you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think. This isn't about fear of death. It's about clarity of life. You don't have forever. That is not sad. That is liberating. You don't have time to live someone else's values. What if you let go of the image you're trying to keep up? What if you drop the need to be admired, validated, understood? What if your only goal was to live in harmony with your own reason, with truth? That is Stoic freedom. That is dignity. And right now, in this moment of stillness, I want you to do something powerful with me. Take a slow, deep breath. Hold it for 3 counts. Now release it completely. As you breathe, I want you to make a decision. Not tomorrow, right now. What is one thing you've been holding on to that you know deep down you need to release? One grudge, one expectation, one need for control that's exhausting you. Name it silently in your mind. Now, with your next exhale, imagine releasing it, not suppressing it, not fighting it, simply opening your hand and letting it go. Feel the lightness that comes, even if just for a moment. This is the practice. And if you felt even a flicker of that release, you're ready for what comes next. If this resonates with you, if you're committed to walking this path, show yourself. Leave a second comment. I choose freedom. Not for me, for you. To declare to yourself that you are no longer a prisoner of what you cannot control. Do it now, then return here. I'll be waiting. As your body softens into sleep, let your mind rise into awareness. Ask yourself, what do I truly value? What am I living for? What am I willing to suffer for? The Stoic does not avoid suffering. He assigns it purpose. He chooses what is worth it and lets the rest fall away. You are not powerless in a chaotic world. You are powerful in how you face it. Let your mind be like water, still on the surface, deep in essence. Thoughts may ripple, but your center remains untouched. When insult comes, let it pass through. When praise comes, let it pass through. When fear comes, see it, name it, and let it drift like smoke. The external world will always change. People will come and go. Opportunities will rise and fall. But if you anchor in virtue, in wisdom, courage, temperance, and justice, you will always know where you stand. You don't need to impress anyone. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't even need to be understood. You need only to be aligned. When your actions reflect your values, when your words reflect your principles, when your silence reflects your strength, that is enough. Remember, suffering is not the enemy, confusion is. And clarity is born not from answers, but from presence, from looking at what is and saying, "This too I can face." That is the Stoic creed. Sleep now, not as escape, but as training. Sleep as renewal. Let this rest become a foundation. Let these words shape your subconscious. You are free, not because life is easy, but because you choose to live by reason, by principle, by truth. No one can take that from you. Not failure, not heartbreak, not loss. Those things will come. But if you are grounded, you will not fall with them. You will feel them, yes, but you will remain whole. Breathe deep and steady. Nothing outside has power over your soul unless you give it permission. Tonight, withdraw that permission. Reclaim your strength. Reclaim your stillness. You are here, you are whole, you are home. So much of life is lost in distraction, in noise, in trying to escape what already is, but not tonight. Tonight, you are here. You are still. You are choosing to be with yourself. That choice alone places you among the strongest. What makes you powerful is the way you carry yourself when the world doesn't reward you, when no one is watching, when all is quiet, and you still choose integrity, peace, truth. That is real strength. The Stoics knew that most people are asleep while awake. But a philosopher is awake even while asleep, because he has trained his mind to walk beside reason. Even in dreams. This is not just sleep. It is transformation. There is a part of you that cannot be shaken. You may forget it, you may bury it beneath noise, but beneath all this, steady and unmoved, there remains something constant. The Stoics called it the logos within, the spark of rational order. Whatever its name, it is there, unbroken, unshaken, waiting for you to return. It doesn't panic when plans fall apart. The surface self does. The part that wants control, that clings to outcomes, that demands life obey. But deeper within, the logos does not panic. It knows that plans are only sketches, that the future is always uncertain, that control is never absolute. Where the surface mind says, "This should not be happening," the deeper mind asks, "This is happening. Now what is the right response?" That shift alone is the difference between despair and resilience. It doesn't chase applause. The ego craves recognition, but the logos is not fooled. It knows that applause is fickle, that it can be given or withheld for reasons that have nothing to do with truth. The rational soul does not need it. It finds peace in alignment, in the quiet knowledge that you acted with justice, with honesty, with courage. It doesn't need to prove. How much of life is wasted in proving you are strong, proving you are worthy, proving you are enough. But the logos does not play this game. It knows that your worth is not in question. You exist. Therefore, you are already worthy. When you let this part of you lead, the exhausting need to prove dissolves. You live not to impress, but to embody, not to persuade, but to practice, not to prove, but to be. That is the logos within you, the rational soul. It is calm because it sees truth. It is steady because it understands limits. It is quiet because it does not need validation. The rational soul is not cold logic. It is reason aligned with nature, with reality. It honors feeling, but it does not let feeling rule. It watches quietly, calmly. The untrained mind is always entangled. It identifies with every thought, every fear. It says, "I am angry, I am afraid, I am broken." But the rational soul observes differently. It says, anger has arisen, fear has appeared, pain is present. It notices without collapsing into identification. And in noticing, it creates space. Space to breathe, space to choose. And when you let it lead, life becomes simple. Not easy, but clear. Simplicity is not the absence of challenge, but simplicity means you see what is essential. You see what belongs to you, your choices, your actions, your character, and what does not. The noise quiets. The distractions fade. What remains is clarity. The rational soul does not remove hardship, but it reveals the path through hardship. This clarity is freedom, and this freedom is peace. And so the practice is simple. Return. Return to the unshakable part of yourself, again and again, until it becomes the ground you live from. Each return strengthens it. The Logos is not far away. It is already here, already within you, already enough. Let that part lead. Life will not be easy, but it will be clear. And clarity is what allows you to live with strength, with freedom, with peace. You were never meant to control everything. The human mind craves certainty. It wants the world to bend to its plans, people to conform to its expectations. And when it does not, we feel betrayed. But life never promised control. It promised only existence. You were meant to control yourself. That is enough. The only true domain of control is your own mind, your own choices, your own actions. Everything else lies beyond your command. To control yourself is to direct the one thing that shapes everything else, your response. You cannot control the wind, but you can control the set of your sails. You cannot control the storm, but you can control whether you stand firm or collapse. This is not weakness, this is wisdom. Control your thoughts, for thoughts are the seeds of action, and actions become habits, and habits shape your life. Fearful thoughts breed a fearful life. Resentful thoughts breed a bitter life. Grateful thoughts breed a generous life. You cannot stop thoughts from arising, but you can choose which thoughts you entertain, which you cultivate, which you allow to guide you. Control your choices. Life presents you with circumstances beyond your command. But within each circumstance is the freedom to choose. The choice may be small, a word spoken with patience instead of anger, an act of honesty instead of deceit, or it may be great, a commitment to live by principle even when it costs you. Each choice is a thread, and together they weave the fabric of your character, control your direction. This does not mean controlling every step. It means setting your course according to your values. The sailor cannot control the wind or the sea, but he can control the rudder, the sails, the bearing. Direction is not certainty, it is orientation. When you know who you are and what you stand for, you have a compass. You may be blown off course, delayed, diverted, but you are never truly lost. Everything else is weather. The world will bring sun and storm, fortune and misfortune, praise and blame. You cannot stop the winds from rising nor the rains from falling. To fight against this is futile. To accept it is liberating. Weather can be harsh, but it cannot touch your inner citadel unless you let it. When you accept that everything outside yourself is weather, you no longer take it personally. The storm does not rage against you, it simply rages. What matters is not what the weather does, but what you do within it. This is resilience, not the absence of hardship, but the refusal to collapse beneath it. Just as a tree bends with the wind so that it does not break, so too does a resilient spirit adapt without surrendering its essence. You may suffer, but you are not ruined. You may stumble, but you rise again. You may lose much, but you do not lose yourself. This strength is cultivated, not granted. Each time you resist the urge to rage against weather, you grow stronger. Each time you return to your values instead of your impulses, you grow freer. Over time, this becomes a habit, and the habit becomes a character, and the character becomes your freedom. By surrendering the illusion of control over everything, you gain true control over yourself. You were meant to control yourself, that is enough. For in mastering yourself, you discover that nothing outside you can truly destroy you. Right now, everything you need is already within you. From an early age, you were told that you were incomplete, that you must seek endlessly outside yourself. Yet beneath all the layers of conditioning, there is a quiet truth. What you seek has always been within you. The strength, the clarity, the courage. They are seeds already planted, waiting only for you to water them with practice. You don't need another book. You don't need another teacher. You don't need another breakthrough. What you need is stillness. Stillness is the deliberate act of pausing, of allowing your restless mind to settle long enough for clarity to emerge. In stillness, you stop reacting and begin perceiving. You need silence, not merely the absence of external sound, but the quieting of internal noise. Silence is where you rediscover your center, and above all, you need a fierce commitment to applying what you already know. Knowledge without application is weight without strength. You already know that kindness matters more than cruelty, that patience is stronger than haste, that discipline builds freedom. The question is not whether you know it, but whether you live it. To live by your values, this is the work, not tomorrow. Now, every breath you take is an opportunity to live with integrity. You do not need to wait for the perfect conditions. The only condition required is your willingness to begin. This willingness is freedom. This path does not promise comfort. It will demand effort. It will expose weakness, but it offers something no book or teacher can: dignity. The dignity of living honestly, the dignity of trusting yourself. So let yourself be still, let yourself be silent, let yourself be committed to living by your values. You do not need to become someone else. You need only to return to yourself. Not tomorrow, now. There will be days when you forget. This is inevitable because you are human. Forgetting does not mean failure. Forgetting simply means you are alive. There will be days when you stumble. Stumbling is not weakness, but part of the path. The pain of stumbling is real, but it does not mean the journey has ended. It only means you must rise again. There will be days when old habits call to you. Habits formed long ago do not vanish simply because you have decided to live differently. The call of old habits is part of the journey. The practice is learning not to obey every song. That's normal. The Stoic does not seek perfection. Perfection is a fantasy. The Stoic seeks progress. He expects to be tested, to be challenged, to be pulled off course. What matters is not that he has never moved, but that he returns each time to the path. He seeks return. This is the essence of Stoic practice, the willingness to begin again. When he forgets, he remembers anew. When he stumbles, he steadies himself and takes the next step. The Stoic does not define himself by the fall, but by the return. Each return is a triumph, even if it must be repeated 1,000 times. He starts again as many times as it takes. This is the true discipline, not the illusion of perfect mastery, but the resilience of renewal. Starting again is not weakness. It is the heart of strength. Because falling is human, rising is the practice. To rise is to affirm that you are not defined by the fall. Rising transforms failure into training, weakness into wisdom. The rhythm of falling and rising is the rhythm of all human life. Nature itself falls and rises endlessly, and so do we. To accept falling and to commit to rising is to live in harmony with the way of things. So when you forget, when you stumble, do not despair. Remember that you are not asked to be flawless, but faithful. Remember that falling is human, and rising is the practice. Life will shape you whether you invite it or not. Every encounter leaves its mark. To resist all shaping is impossible. You are not stone, but clay. But there is a difference between being shaped and being broken. To be shaped is to be refined, to be carved, to be revealed. You cannot stop life from shaping you, but you can choose to let it shape you without destroying you. You are not here to win. This is one of the hardest lessons to accept. Life is framed as competition, and worth is measured by victory. but victories fade quickly. What you win today can be lost tomorrow. You were not put here to win. You were put here to grow. Growth is slower, quieter, less visible than winning, but it endures. Growth is the unfolding of your true potential, the deepening of your wisdom. Growth is the movement from fear to courage, from ignorance to clarity. You are here to align. Alignment means bringing your life into harmony with your deepest values. To align is to cease the exhausting inner war between what you know is right and what you choose to do. Alignment does not mean ease, but it does mean integrity. You are here to remember who you are under all the noise. The noise is constant. It comes from the world with its endless demands. It comes from within with the mind's chatter. But beneath the noise is something quieter and truer, your essence, the part of you untouched by circumstance. Remembering who you are beneath the noise is the great work of life. Each moment of stillness, each act of integrity, each refusal to bend under pressure brings you closer to this remembrance. And in remembering, you find peace. Not the shallow peace of external success, but the deep peace of being whole. So let yourself be shaped, tested, and changed. Let life press upon you, but do not let it break you. You are not here to accumulate victories that will fade. You are here to grow, to align, to remember, and each time you forget, you can return. This is enough. For a person who grows, who aligns, who remembers, holds a strength that no storm can shatter. And that strength is what makes life not only bearable, but beautiful. Soften your body now, unclench your jaw, release your shoulders. There is nothing to fix, nothing to achieve, just the breath, just the moment. Tomorrow may come with its demands, but that is not your concern now. Your only task is to be here, to let go. That is Stoic sleep, not numbness but depth, not escape but return. This is your citadel. This space within you is sacred. It cannot be touched by misfortune. It cannot be stained by the world. Protect it, live from it, and you will never be lost. The practice continues even now as you drift. You are the work, you are the path, you are the keeper of your peace. Let go. Let it all go and fall into rest. Sleep like a Stoic. Breathe like a philosopher, on purpose, with power, without fear. You are enough. You are here. You are free.